Hello, hello, healthy mompreneurs get wealthy. So I'm hopping on live today to do a training about fat burning. I'm just going to make sure that I'm live in the group. So I'm just going to check on my phone to make sure everything is set up. If you're hopping on, say hi. Tell me what it's like where you are. It's snowing where we are, and it's a bit warmer today. So we will be able to go outside and go skating. All right, perfect. So that is live. Hello, thanks for hopping on. Thanks for saying hi, Ashmita, and I see Danny's here too, so that's great. So I am going to talk today about 5 fat-burning foods that you guys should include every day. Okay, you'll have to excuse me. I've got some notes today because I want to make sure I don't forget anything, and I've got some weird hair going on thanks to a rough night with my 2-year-old. You can never predict that, right? It's like every day I need to be kind of awake. He makes me wake up a bit much. So this is a great question that one of my favorite VIP clients asked, if there's any particular foods that you can include every day to help with fat burning. So I took a look at the research, and I'm going to give you guys 5 evidence-based things to include every day to help with that fat burning and boost your metabolism. So stay tuned because I'll go over that with you. So how are you guys? My group program started this week, so that's fun. I have a few people in the group who are excited, and we're doing our first live group coaching call tomorrow, so I'm excited for that, to see how they're doing, how they found the content, how they've looked at the workbook, and there's lots of videos and stuff that come with that group program. So still space if anyone wants to hop in on that, let me know and I can give you the details. And I have a challenge next week. So I'll talk more about that at the end, but it's a 5 days to food freedom challenge. And it's all about journaling and how that's going to improve your relationship with food forever. Okay, so stay tuned and I'll give you guys all the deets for that at the end. And you may have noticed that I changed the name of the group. So it used to be Real Energized Mama. But with the work that I'm doing now, I really want to work with those mompreneurs who want to get healthy so they can show up in their business and get wealthy. So that's why I've changed the name, because it kind of goes along more with what my focus is now. And I'm really excited about helping all the mompreneurs get feeling healthy, show up as their best self, and then make more profits. So if you have any comments or questions about that, let me know. All right, so I know you guys don't have a lot of time. I love to hop into things pretty quick, give you guys the details, and then if you have questions, come back and let me know. If you're joining live, say hi. I see there's still a few of you there, so that's great. And if you're catching the replay, just pop in #replay so I know who's catching it. And I'll tag, I know there's a few people that couldn't make it, so I will tag you at the end. So what foods can help with fat burning? So I took a look at the research for this, a great question, and the things that I want you guys to think about including on a daily basis. So fatty fish is one of those things, okay? So when we talk about fatty fish, we're talking about salmon, herring, mackerel, and it's those omega-3 fats that are in there that really are the key to help us lose weight, okay? So they've done a few studies, not a lot of studies for a lot of participants, but they did a small study with 44 adults, and they actually took fish oil supplements, okay? So those are pretty readily available wherever we are around the world. And those fish oil supplements that they took them for 6 weeks, and they saw a reduction in body weight by 1.5 pounds. Okay, or actually 1.1 pounds, so not even 1.5 pounds. So not a huge reduction, but it still reduces that fat storage because the omega-3 fatty acids, if you guys watch my training about intermittent fasting, we talked about it in the immunity one, and probably as well in the energized eating and the belly fat one for sure. If we're under more stress, that increases that stress hormone in our body, which is called cortisol, and that is what helps us have that fat storage around the belly. Omega-3 fats actually help reduce the cortisol, and that ends up reducing that fat storage. So omega-3 fats are the key, and you get that in fatty fish, okay? Fatty fish is also an excellent source of protein, which can make us feel more full, so when we eat less. And it also has been shown to increase the metabolic rate when we eat protein far more significantly than when our body's digesting fat or carbohydrates. When it has to work to digest protein, that metabolic rate increases. So that's why I'm always talking about having protein at every meal and every snack to help you guys feel full, but it also gives you that fat burning benefit. Okay, so if you want to include fatty fish, you can either do an omega-3 supplement on a daily basis. If you have questions about that, pop them in the comments and I'll come back and answer that. Or you can eat fatty fish. 3.5 ounces of fatty fish would be like a serving like the size of the palm of my hand, twice a week. Okay, so number one thing for fat burning is to include fatty fish in your diet. Okay, number two, I'm just going to move my notes around so I can see them, so I can give you guys all the evidence-based details. So number two is medium chain triglycerides. Okay, so MCT oil. So you'll see it at natural food stores, and it's a popular supplement from people that are doing like the keto diet, okay? So what MCT oil is basically the extract from coconut or palm oil, and it's metabolized differently than other fats, okay? So it actually, when they've done a few studies with it, it increases the metabolic rate. So that's why people are adding it to their diet. So there is some good studies behind it. They did one study where they took 1 to 2 tablespoons a day. It increased that metabolic rate by 5%, okay? So on the average, that would increase your calorie burn by 120 calories a day, which isn't a lot, but over time, that can add up. So that's the benefit of the MCT oil. It also, we know when we have an adequate amount of fat, which is why I'm always teaching that PFC balance with my VIP clients, that it reduces your hunger, and it goes back to that blood sugar curve that I'm always talking about, and it keeps your blood sugar more stable. MCT oil also helps you retain muscle mass, okay? So if you're doing anything to lose weight and you're taking MCT oil, it's going to help your body hang on to more muscle. So lots of benefits to include MCT oil. Let me know if you guys are doing that in the comments. I would love to see who's been already doing that and how much you take. The recommendation is to start with 1 teaspoon per day and then slowly increase it because you want to minimize the side effects. Okay, if you increase fat too quickly, even though it's a healthy fat that's going to give you some benefit, you can get cramping, nausea, vomiting, so not great side effects. So I would start with 1 teaspoon a day and then slowly work up to that 1 to 2 tablespoons per day, which is what they've studied. The other thing that has the medium chain triglycerides in it is coconut oil. Okay, so if you want to include coconut oil as well as a natural fat burning food every day, it's going to give you that MCT benefit, and that's why it's going to be promoted as a fat burning food. Okay, so I'm just going to move my next note up. My notes are falling off today. So you've got fatty fish and MCT oil, and those are both sources of fat. So, you know, it used to be we wanted to go low fat and that would help us lose weight, but we know that having adequate fat intake actually helps that metabolic rate. Okay, so you've got fatty fish, MCT oil, so you can do omega-3 supplements, you can get some MCT oil and work your way up to a couple of tablespoons a day, or you can use coconut oil if you've got that. The same amount, 2 tablespoons a day, would be giving you the right amount to increase that fat burning. The next thing that you could include, okay, if you take MCT oil, do you reduce other fats? That's a great question, Danny. So if you're adding it at a meal, that 1 to 2 tablespoons is that 10 grams of fat that I want my clients to aim for at a meal. Okay, so it would replace the fat at that meal, but you wouldn't reduce your overall fat for the other meals, okay? But you're adding it in as an additional fat. So for example, if you put it in a smoothie, some people will take it that way, then that would be the fat in that smoothie to balance out that protein, fat, and carbohydrate. But it can show up at any meal or in any snack. Okay, does that answer your question, Danny? If it does, great. If it doesn't, just comment again and I'll clarify that. But that's a great question. Thanks for asking. So green tea is the next thing. So I'm wondering, does anyone drink green tea? Because I've been promoting green tea for a number of years. I worked in like a few preventative health clinics over the years, quite progressive actually. Instead of treating people that are sick, they're trying to take people that aren't sick yet and teach them how to stay healthy and get healthier. So in a few of those clinics, I was recommending green tea, 500 mils steeped for at least 5 to 7 minutes. So the stronger the flavor, the more antioxidants you're going to get, okay? So if you don't like green tea on its own, you could always buy like a flavored green tea, like mint green tea or something. Steep it for at least 5 to 7 minutes to get all those antioxidants. And then you can actually take it throughout the day. You could have it cold if you like it better that way, or you can drink it warm. You get so much benefit. Interestingly enough, I actually visited, my sister lived in Japan. Oh, now I'm going to sound old. Probably like 20 years ago. Oh yeah, probably 20 years ago. She was teaching English there, and we went to visit, and we actually did like a green tea ceremony. So we picked the green tea off the trees, and we got to see the whole process of how they burn the bamboo and how they dry it out, and then how they have a whole ceremony. And they include the whole school in it. It was quite interesting. I think it was the middle school that did that. So it was quite neat, and we got to participate and work over the fire and dry out the leaves and stuff. But green tea, it has antioxidants in it that promote fat burning, and they specifically promote the loss of that belly fat. Okay, so there's studies on green tea that it works, and there's studies that it doesn't work that well for fat loss. So they're conflicting. So the evidence from green tea is suggesting that it may vary from person to person, the benefit for fat loss. We know the antioxidants in green tea reduce your mortality by up to 25% if you have that 500 mils a day. So I'm still going to suggest that you take green tea every day, 500 mils, which is 2 cups, and you can take it hot or cold. You've got to steep it to get the antioxidants to come out, but you're still going to get health benefits from drinking like 1 to 4 cups a day. And there is the potential that it's going to increase the amount of calories that you burn. But we know for cancer prevention that it's a big piece of the puzzle, the antioxidants in the tea. Okay, so even though a couple of the studies showed benefit, a couple didn't, I would still suggest that you include green tea, because you're going to get some benefit from the antioxidants and a little bit of fat burning. Depends on the person. So green tea. And then the next one, if you're hopping on, say hi. See, Rachel Marie joined us. Hello. So you've got fatty fish, MCT oil, and green tea. The fourth one that I want you guys to think about including on a daily basis is whey protein. Okay, so I know a lot of people are going to other, pea-based proteins, or they might do a soy protein. But when you look at the research, whey protein is actually a good one to help with fat burning. It increases your muscle growth, and it actually helps preserve your muscle loss during weight loss, or preserve your muscle, so you're not losing it. Because typically when we see people doing things to help them lose weight, we see them lose some muscle mass. If you keep that whey protein intake up, we'll see actually that you're not going to lose muscle mass when you're losing weight as well. So it does a couple of things. Whey protein does a really good job to suppress your appetite. It also stimulates the fullness hormone, so it makes you feel more full. Okay. There is good evidence that it boosts the fat burning too. Okay, so whey protein is a great one to include. An easy way to include whey protein, you could make like buy some whey protein powder and make it like a shake. That could be a quick meal if that's an easy meal for you. Or if you took a smaller quantity, it could be a quick snack, and it promotes that fat loss, and it can also improve your body composition by helping preserve some of that muscle. So whey protein would be another one to make sure that you're including. There's tons of whey protein available, and it's probably one of the least expensive ones on the market. So you've got fatty fish, MCT oil, green tea, and whey protein. Okay, so any questions about those ones, let me know. I'm going through everything kind of quick. I know you guys don't have a lot of extra time, so I want to make sure I keep my trainings short, but I give you lots of information. All right, so thanks for the hearts. Give me some thumbs up if you guys are still there, if you're finding the information helpful. And then number 5 is apple cider vinegar. Okay, so this is a common one. You hear lots of people talking about taking some every day. I had a great question about lemon water from one of my VIP clients too, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to answer that probably as a series of posts if, drinking lemon water is actually beneficial. But when I looked at the research for apple cider vinegar, there's animal studies that show increased fat burning and less belly fat storage. Okay, so there's some good animal studies for apple cider vinegar. And then they did do a study with 144 obese men. And what they did was they took those men and they added 2 tablespoons of vinegar into their diet for 12 weeks. Okay, so they took 2 tablespoons of vinegar in their diet for 12 weeks and they lost 3.7 pounds and they saw a reduction in 0.9% of body fat. Okay, so there was some benefit to adding the apple cider vinegar to get body fat loss and weight loss. The other thing with vinegar, we know when we think about that blood sugar response that I'm always going back to, vinegar actually helps reduce the spike in our blood sugar, which helps with weight loss and regulating our energy and things. So we already know that vinegar has that glycemic response to reduce. And then the studies are showing that it's starting to help with the body fat loss as well. So it may help with with losing body fat. If you're going to take apple cider vinegar, you want to take a teaspoon a day to start with. Again, you want to increase these things slowly, just like the fats, because if you go too quickly, you'll get some digestive issues. And if you're someone that gets a lot of heartburn, apple cider vinegar might not be something to include. If you include it, you really want to dilute it well in water, okay? So you start with 1 teaspoon a day, and then you can work up to the 1 to 2 tablespoons per day. But you want to make sure it's really diluted. If you take apple cider vinegar not diluted, there's some good studies to show that it actually burns the esophagus, okay? And any damage that we get to the esophagus or anywhere in our body, what happens is the immune response is trying to repair it, and it can cause mutation of the cells. And that's why we see people that have a lot of heartburn, it's that acid, similar to the apple cider vinegar, we do the same thing. You get that acetic acid that comes up from the apple cider vinegar. It will actually burn the esophagus and change the cells, okay? And that's when we have a higher risk for cancer of the esophagus. So if you're someone that has heartburn, probably not going to recommend that you add apple cider vinegar. If you're someone that's supposed to take medication for heartburn, I would suggest that you take it and work with a dietitian to help you figure out how to reduce your symptoms or reduce your weight. It's usually extra pressure from our belly that gives us the heartburn, or extra stress, so there's lots of things we can do. But if your doctor's prescribed you medication, it's just neutralizing that acid in the stomach, so it's not doing that damage, okay? So I know a lot of us don't want to take medication, but if it's for neutralizing the acid in your tummy to help with heartburn, long term, that's good. We need to deal with the heartburn, and we can do that with lots of nutritional and lifestyle changes, but you don't want that damage to occur, okay? And I'm sorry, I've gone on a little rant, but one of my VIP clients has a prescription for heartburn, hasn't been taking it, went under some higher stress in the last couple of weeks and started to have like a lot of pain in their stomach, and it's that heartburn coming back, okay? So I'm trying to work with them, take your medication, and then we'll work with the stress as a way to help reduce that heartburn. Okay, so back to the 5 foods to promote fat burning. Okay, so number 1, you've got fatty fish or omega-3 fish oil supplements. Number 2, you've got the MCT oil, so 1 to 2 tablespoons a day, but work your way up. And you can use coconut oil if you want, because it's also the medium chain triglycerides. You've got green tea, 500 mils per day as a minimum. Make sure that you steep it for 5 to 7 minutes, and you don't have to drink it hot. You can kind of drink it throughout the day. You can drink a flavored one. Number 4, we've got whey protein, okay, and having that like as a snack or as a way to boost the protein at your breakfast or at your lunch is a good way to get that whey protein in there. And number 5, we've got apple cider vinegar, okay, so there's some good evidence, but you want to make sure you dilute it. Start with that 1 teaspoon and work your way up to the 2 tablespoons as well, because we don't want to get the negative side effects. So those are the 5 fat burning foods. There are a few more, and I'll probably come back at some point and do another live on those. But those are things that you guys can be adding into your diet on a daily basis to help with that fat burning. If you want help, if you want to be able to have more awareness around why you know what you should be doing, but you just can't do it, I encourage you guys to click on the cover photo in the group and sign up for that 5 days to food freedom challenge. So in that challenge, I'm going to walk you through my 5-step system that I use with all my clients to help them actually identify through food journaling what it is that we need to improve on, and they can improve that relationship with food forever. Okay, so if you're someone that wants to lose weight, if you're someone that is frustrated because you know what you need to do but you just can't do it, that challenge is going to help you figure out where you need to focus and how you need to move forward. Okay, so I invite you guys to sign up and join that challenge. I've got some great people already signed up. It's going to be great. It's happening inside this group, but sign up so you get the replays and some of the worksheets that will come to you. The other thing is, any other trainings. If you guys have questions, my trainings are coming right now from great VIP client questions. So, and people are really liking the topic. So if you have a nutrition question that you want answered, let me know, and you can post that below, or you can send me a personal message if that's more convenient for you. And let me know what would make your life easier. Like, what's that one thing that's really stopping you from being your healthiest? And I can give you guys free training, and then you can move forward with that. All right, so if you want to watch the other free trainings, go back and do that. There's lots of them. I've pinned them in the group. Some of them are going to start to disappear as I bring them down to put them in as paid products. So I'm giving you guys all the information for free. You can watch all those videos, get all that information, but they won't stay there forever. So if you want to look at a specific topic, go back. I've listed them. I put hashtags to make it easy for you to find them. And if you have any questions, let me know. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. It's snowy where we are, but it's warmer. So we're going to go skating today. We've got family movie night at our school tonight. And then we've got a birthday party this weekend. So yeah, that's a great question for you guys too. What do you do for birthday party, like for grab bags? I'm kind of over grab bags. And we've been getting like $5 gift cards for like a ice cream store, or I'm thinking maybe a dollar store. I give each kid that comes a little $5, card that they can go and buy something at the dollar store. So let me know what you think. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.